So this is our our part before we wrap up the show today. We got to get some over and under reactions. Over and under reactions.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
Go first, Chip.
All right. I'm gonna go first. I'm just like Ice Cube and jacking for beats. I'm gonna steal this overreaction from Eric Grant. Cause when I heard it, I was, me, I'm not one for hyperbole or to, blow things out of proportion. But
No.
he said Sanaya King is better than Diamond Johnson. I was like, ooh, you've made it to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Oh, so he's the South Carolina of
I'm just saying that and your ability to downplay your hyperbole is hyperbolic.
See, he did it again. See how B just did it again.
It is. I'm just saying it's hyperbolic. Yeah. It's hyperbolic. I think I had to check my heartbeat to say what is he talking about? I no longer am worried about what you were going to say next.
So I got all the love in the world for Sanaya. I think she's a wonder.
She's awesome.
I don't know if I'm ready to say she's better than Diamond Johnson. I'm gonna have to put that in the overreaction category.
So the only reason it hits overreaction for me is that, a few episodes ago I told you that I see her in the maturity she's shown over the year here. She's box office, and I know that she plays a similar game to Diamond. So when they played against each other in Norfolk, she seemed younger. She didn't play as though she was going to battle with the best player on the other team. But when I saw how she stepped up and put up 20 just like that against University of Maryland, sure, not the same level, but the way she was able to take over a game, I think she's in the conversation of, there's not too many other guards in the league that, you can put in the same conversation with Diamond. So, yeah, I mean, but, Eric Grant, shout out to Eric in the Mexican side. He's a hyperbolic dude as well. So I like that. He tries to hype it up.
Tight. That's why him and Chip is tight.
That's right. It's a Chicago thing as far as I'm concerned. It's like, yeah.
But I will say this: I'm looking forward to the next matchup because I do think Sanaya is going to take it personally, and bring the fight to Diamond. So, but Diamond, she gives me the vibe that she'll take all comers. So I'm looking forward to the next matchup.
I like it. Yeah. Any other overreactions for today? E, you got one for us?
Well, we're not gonna overreact to the tough loss that we had with
Delaware State.
Yeah. I'm trying real hard not to overreact to that because I appreciate that they bounced back, and we still number 2 in the MEAC. It is to look at our regular record, and it's almost a little distracting. Go like, oh, they still got a winning record in the conference and a good winning record. It's not like they hanging on by a thin thread or something. So, I'm not going to overreact to that loss.
Okay. Okay. I like what you did there. Yeah. You kind of did an underreaction for the overreaction. I got it. Okay, I'm following. Okay. So my overreaction is going to be consistent since we gone jack for beats and all that stuff. My consistent overreaction is it will come down to the last game, but I do believe that Blake Harper is very much in contention for Player of the Year, not just rookie. He'll be the first Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year in the conference in a long, long time. So it comes down to the last game against Norfolk because the guy he's going against is on Norfolk's team, as far as I'm concerned, as far as getting that same accolade. And he's getting a lot of press, but that I just know that with the push of media and stories that are coming about Blake right now, and his jump from 0 star to on the national scene, it's going to play. It's going to play. So I believe the overreaction for me is that Blake Harper will be, rookie of the year and player of the year for the MEAC this year.
And I want you to know, B, I wrestled with that as an overreaction. I was thinking along those same lines. So I'm with you.
I mean, it's not a fluke that the podcasts are up, and we'll get him on the show here so he can get his numbers up. But like I said, the idea is that the stories are hitting at the right time, and he continues to play. And so when they're mentioning him in the same breath as Cooper Flagg and other folks that are doing well as freshmen, the press is starting to really pick up the narrative, and that's this award is in large part about the narrative of the guy, the player. So. Yeah,
definitely want to shout out that Washington Post article too, man. I was impressed with the narrative of that. To your point, B. So yeah, he's trending up as well. No question.
That's right. So, any underreactions besides the one Eric slipped in as an overreaction? Chip, you got any underreactions for us today?
My only underreaction is maybe the beef with Coach Ty Grace is off because she finally gave Marissa Steele about 20 minutes in the I think it was the Delaware State game. So, good job giving Marissa Steele the energy player some minutes. I'm willing to say the beef might be off. So, Coach Ty Grace, you're off the hook.
No, for now. There he goes again with that positivity. Which leads to my actual underreaction of you don't want to underreact to the fact that they're spreading the wealth on the ladies' team. They really are. And we talked about that, I want to say, all the way back to when we were talking about the non-conference schedule, and we were talking about what are they going to do different, this and that. And we were all talking about how they're going to, what they would need to do to morph into something different or to play a little different. And they're actually doing it. So you don't want to underreact to that, Coach. So don't listen to Chip.
It's too late. It's too late because Ty Grace said, Chip, you got a point. And she's a fan of the show in a way that is very authentic. She actually will say, hey, you have a legitimate beef there. So Chip is winning friends differently,
well, this is where I have to bring my mama into it, B.
I dog it. You be doing that now?
We did the best we could. I'm sorry, we did the best we could with it, B.
So the part here that you don't seem to understand, Chip, is that it works for you. So when you say you got beef with people, they want to hang out with you and everything. So I think you keep riding it, man. If you can get coaches to say you have a point, then you've done exactly what you intended to do. So this is cool. This is cool. So I'll add one
for basketball, B. That's bad.
Oh no, I disagree. I disagree. You watch, the true fandom has opinions. We don't just go with the flow and say yay for everything. We're paying attention like everybody else. We're concerned about the product on the floor.
This is Chip we talk about.
Chip is the master of hyperbole. And you have to understand that what I love about Chip is that people forget he was a comedian. And then he actually got paid to be a comedian. So it was crazy because he's been in that mode a while where he'll set you over the hook. And next thing you know, you're like, man, why am I hanging out with this dude? He just called me out of my name and now we boys. I don't know what's up with that. So that's the cool part. So he's getting all the coaches to listen in and what we're saying is, if she's off the hook, that's good. She'll appreciate that. We'll make sure we post as we put the production up for this next episode, our 15th episode. So underreaction to round us out today really goes to our men's team, where we've been battling through injury most of the season. And as I said at the beginning of the show, I believe that we're going to be the healthiest we're going to be for the remainder of the season now. So everybody we've been seeing over the last few games, as long as they're able to play, we're going to see this is the team. This is the team that's going forward. We have very few DNA members of the last championship teams on the floor now. So my underreaction is that I still think we should win the chip. Mm-hmm. And it's only because it's going to be a growth spurt over the next few games where the identity of this new team will form because they'll have gotten the best from everybody.
Yep.
They'll have toughened up because they're going to realize that those elbows were meant for everybody. And as long as we can figure out a legitimate number 2 to Blake, as long as we can figure out a legitimate number 2 go-to person for Blake, we'll be back in the chip game and making a move to be back in our third, March Madness run. So it's an underreaction because I see all the pieces there. Taiwo showing up gives us a defensive presence we've not had all season. And he's coordinated when it comes down to what he's doing down low by the basket. And he's causing havoc for all these other guys who think they're big until they walk up next to him at 6'11", right? 6'10", 6'11". Our outside shooting, we still fall in love with the E. I know we have to figure out how to balance that. So when it's not dropping early, I want to see us set the tone going to the basket early before we start jacking up threes, because if we can get in the paint and get people to foul us, then they're going to, wish that we stood back and shot longer shots to begin with. But the team we saw on Monday, the team we saw even on Saturday, as long as they can play together, I still think we're a championship team. I have not lost faith in that, even though we haven't won a bunch of games in a row for me to build that confidence. But
I give you a little pushback on the number 2 thing, because I think Dockery, he comes up in 2 of those counts to me, because I feel like I've seen him, maybe not as much as I want to, but I've seen him taking it to the cup. And, y'all correct me if I'm wrong here. I feel like we've had enough moments where we've seen him do that. Again, maybe not as much as we want, but it's not like he's not capable of it. And he's clutch. And he does have that DNA you're talking about.
He's one of them.
Yeah,
he's one of them.
He does.
Like I said, I want to say that, but when I sit back, he's not the number 2 all the time.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about now is that when you get past Blake, there's been Cameron Shockley-Okeke, there's been Jaren Johnson, there's been, Anwar showed up one time, Taiwo was one time. Like, who's the number 2? There has to be a number 2 that emerges for us to know that anybody who's game planning against us, especially with Blake, they got to know there's some other people they got to worry about, and everybody else can get off and do their thing. It's just, there's not a clear number 2 right now for me. And that's probably my only heartburn around, what's the identity going into tournament play? Because if you think you can shut down one player, then everybody else is scrambling around. So Doc could be it, but usually, that has not been proven out the way you're talking. Is not
okay.
He's money every time. He's money when he needs to be, but he's not money every time. So, but that's where the next 4 or 5 games will let me know who emerges as that legitimate number 2 that people had a game plan around. Right. So that's my underreaction.